So they say this is the greatest collegiate scorer of all time. Well, I'm finna show y'all how white supremacy works. The media is lying to you. And we're gonna prove that the media is lying to you in this short video. So just hang in there and let's see who the real greatest female collegiate scorer is. This article is from Associated Press. It reads, "The women's scoring record belongs to Pearl Moore. Caitlin Clark is unlikely to reach it this year." The scoring record for most points in women's college basketball is actually held by Pearl Moore of Florence, South Carolina, at 4,061 points. Moore attended Francis Marion University from 1975 to 1979. Not only does she hold this record, she set it before there was a three-point line. So she did this without any three-pointers. Now, you may ask yourself, why haven't I heard of her? Why isn't the media telling us she holds the real record? Well, let's dig a little deeper so that you can understand.
Florence native Pearl Frances Moore attended Old Wilson High School. She's remembered most for her numerous basketball records from 1976 to 79 at then Francis Marion College.
Let's start with being a little bitty kid. We lived in the country, and it wasn't a basketball goal, so we used a tennis ball and a peach basket.
Pearl still holds the all-time women's collegiate record for points with 4,061, and that was before the three-point arc.
Might have meant a lot more shots from all different areas. There probably could have been 1,000 more points added on.
Pearl Moore was the best. She was just ahead of her time. If Pearl was playing now, she'd be one of the top players in the country without a doubt. But Pearl was incredible. She could shoot, pass, she could do everything. It was unbelievable to watch Pearl Moore play.
Pearl is a four-time college All-American. She averaged more than 30 points a game over her career at Francis Marion with a single game high of 60 points. Incredibly, she also averaged 10 rebounds a game, despite standing only 5 feet 5.5 inches tall. Her senior season at Francis Marion, Pearl was voted the National Small College Player of the Year.
The most memorable moments for me probably would have been when we beat Carolina down here at Francis Marion in the Foxy Ladies Tournament.
Moore enjoyed a brief all-star career in the Women's Professional Basketball League. Today, Pearl Moore works here at the U.S. Post Office main branch in Florence. She still loves the game and occasionally gets out to shoot some hoops. Pearl Moore's number 12 jersey is retired and on display at FMU's Smith Center, along with the record basketball.
I never seen anyone that loved the game and loved to play like Pearl Moore.
Pearl Moore is a member of the South Carolina Sports Hall of Fame.
I had 10 brothers and sisters, and we did a lot of that stuff. Got a lot of whippings from my mom and stuff for not cleaning up, but I did score a lot of points.
Welcoming Pearl to the Hall of Fame is the head coach of the Francis Marion Patriots, Sylvia Hatchell. Let's hear it for the greatest scorer in the history of women's college basketball, Pearl Moore.
I'm going to be like Yolanda and take a deep one. First, I'd like to thank God for the talent and the opportunities that He gave me in basketball and in life. I've been truly blessed. Thanks to my parents, Span and Lula Moore. I'm sad to say they're deceased, but they worked hard to rear 11 children and to get us into things that were good for us. Thanks to my siblings, you came to see me play, you helped me when I needed it, and you loved me through it all. A special thanks to you, Sylvia Hatchell, who joins me tonight as my presenter. She was my coach at Francis Marion College in Florence, South Carolina. After winning 2 national championships at Francis Marion Patriots, she went on to capture her 3rd at the University of North Carolina. She's always been in my corner. To my other coaches, Debbie Martin, Ann Long, the late Brenda Bird, Peggy Cook Singletary, Sheila Moorman, and the late Annie Tribble.
Over the last few weeks, Pearl Moore has fielded several interview requests from reporters around the country. Many of them suddenly are interested in the 5'7" guard from Florence, South Carolina, who once played college ball at Francis Marion University, a Division II school in the 1970s. Last weekend, we caught up with Moore while she was celebrating her sister's birthday away from home. She took time and spoke with us on February 16th, a day after Caitlin Clark's new NCAA scoring record was set. The Iowa star is still behind Moore's all-time scoring career mark of 4,056 over 4 years, 1975 through 1979, when the three-point line didn't exist at the time, and women played with the same basketball as men's today. Women play with a smaller ball than their male counterparts. Moore is 3rd on the college basketball men's and women's all-time scoring list, the only woman with at least 4,000 career points, well ahead of Pete Maravich, 3,667 at LSU, who is in 9th place. She averaged over 30 points a game each season at Francis Marion and once hit for 60 points in a game. Nonetheless, Moore's place should be fully recognized, but the NCAA doesn't, because her points came when the Association for Intercollegiate Athletics for Women ran women's hoops, and before the NCAA took over in 1982. Therefore, Clark passed Kelsey Plum for the top spot among NCAA Division I scorers, but in actuality, she still is behind Moore. Now, don't y'all see how it works? You see, because they changed the name from one people to another people, they don't want to honor the real top scorer. Even though it's still females collegiate basketball, they're trying to discredit her for playing at a time when another organization ran the college basketball for women. But the Hall of Fame recognizes her as being the greatest scorer ever. So why wouldn't college basketball recognize her as the greatest scorer ever? Remember what I said from the beginning? White supremacy. This is exactly what that looks like. And this is why the media controls the thoughts of the masses. The media got them thinking, oh, this is the greatest they ever seen. Well, why the media ain't exposing this? But I will, because we know who the best is.
Welcoming Pearl to the Hall of Fame is the head coach of the Francis Marion Patriots, Sylvia Hatchell. Let's hear it for the greatest scorer in the history of women's college basketball, Pearl Moore. Let's hear it for the greatest scorer in the history of women's college basketball. Let's hear it for the greatest scorer in the history of women's college basketball. Let's hear it for the greatest scorer in the history of women's college basketball, Pearl Moore.